Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by Ghostbed.com. Yeah, James.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
What would I be suspicious about?
I don't know. Just don't be suspicious of me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll work on it.
Because I'm not doing anything wrong.
Sure. No, absolutely.
And I never have.
Never said you did, James.
Okay, cool. I didn't think that you thought that, so.
Yeah. Because you seem suspicious.
Good. I'm good. No. When you
Okay.
say don't be suspicious, that means you're not doing anything suspicious.
Absolutely. And I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? No one understands that like me.
About what? Not being
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Are you doing something?
No.
Okay.
I just fucking sang that song.
It just seems like you are doing something.
nah,
All right.
nah,
Well,
nah,
if you're not
nah.
doing anything suspicious, I'll take your word for it, Jabes. Nothing I can do about that. Ruben Schneider, first in the room on YouTube. Subscribe to Drinkin Bros Podcast on YouTube. That is the name of the channel where all of our media network is hubbed.
Oh, it's hubbed.
Ross Patterson Revolution, Drinkin Broettes, all of that. And as always, go to iTunes, give us a 5-star on there and a quick review. It's free and it helps drive us up the charts. Jabes. I don't know what the suspicious thing was. Was it because of our top story?
No.
Okay. What is it?
There's nothing.
Okay, great.
Because I'm not
Great.
doing
So,
anything.
obviously.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Obviously. Is this a TikTok thing that I don't know about because I'm not 14 years old?
Yeah.
It is. What is it?
No, it's just a song. Don't be suspicious.
So,
and then you can put it
but
with
explain
all.
the meaning behind it.
So it's just a song. So on TikTok, I mean, I hate to explain the whole thing to you, but on TikTok, you could basically like take.
You got to explain it to the world here, brother.
You could take the audio from any video.
Okay.
And then put it into yours. So like lip sync it or.
Oh, I've seen that.
Right?
Yeah.
So this song, Don't Be Suspicious, you take that audio and you put it with all kinds of things, like if you're doing something suspicious.
Oh, gotcha.
Or if you're like smoking weed and going into a shop, you're like, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, but you're being fucking suspicious. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So that's the thing behind it.
Who is the original singer of the Don't Be Suspicious song?
You never really know with TikTok. It's very rare that like the main person will get credit.
Gotcha.
Por ejemplo, that's Spanish.
Yeah, thanks.
Por ejemplo, our wine video that got 20 million views.
I think it's up to 22 million now.
Nobody really,
Counts.
Nobody's been counting.
Sure.
But we got that credit for that, even though we weren't like the first people to do it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha,
whoever does it either the best or has the most following or whatever happens, that's the person that will get the most shine from it.
Okay. I understand now.
Just saying. So don't be suspicious of anything.
No, I won't be. I won't be suspicious of anything, for sure. I saw one of those on Kevin Hart's page on Instagram. Because, again, there should be age limits where Instagram is for adults and TikTok is for children. So I don't know anything that comes from TikTok. Just know that going forward because I feel like a pedophile on there.
Here's the thing. One more thing I'll say about TikTok.
Yep.
Is that kids can't be on it. So your parents have to have the account in order for you to be on it at, is it 14, 15? Not sure.
Whatever
it's a certain age
China
where
has set.
if you're too young, they will boot you off. Like if it is your account.
How do they know a 14-year-old versus like a 16-year-old?
13. So 13 is
13
how old
years
you
old.
have to be. So like,
There we go.
for example, Kourtney Kardashian was on her son's TikTok with him and he got booted off and his thing got deleted because he's 10. Do you know what I mean?
Ah, okay.
So the parents have to start it for these younger kids and then they end up doing stuff with them. And I find all of that, besides Mark Cuban, who's gone way too far with it.
With TikTok?
Oh,
why?
Doing it with his kids.
Look, here's the...
But it's gone too far.
Here's the deal. If you're doing it with your kids...
That's what it is.
And it's a fun thing for them, then I am for it. Here's what I'm against. Grown adults just doing it for themselves. We're just like, oh man, you're an adult male in their 30s, and you're watching a bunch of children dance around in pajamas or other things.
You don't watch that. Like
pedo bear shit, dude.
You're
there
not
should be a
watching
pedo bear
it.
at the
You're
bottom of
just
the thing.
doing it. You sound like a curmudgeon and that you don't like fun.
Not at all.
And here's the thing. You're not watching little kids do stuff. You have your account and you do fun stuff.
Everything that I've ever pulled up on TikTok, it starts with little girls.
But that's
dancing.
the search that you put in.
It's not a search. I put in no search. I just open up TikTok, and it's like
You put in
little girls.
little girls.
I've never entered the phrase little girls
I
into
don't
anything
know.
in my real life, simply for the fact of if something were to come back to me through the feds or anything else, they're going to go through your search history and be like, oh, man, this motherfucker just kept Googling the words little girls over and over and over again.
And so you're saying that's the only reason that you don't do
Oh,
it?
hang on. Yes. I'll take it a step further.
Because
I
you
won't
think
even.
you're going to get caught?
No, not caught. But if something.
Also that you don't want to.
Yes.
Okay.
But if
okay.
something, but also if something happened, like, so here's the other reverse to that, that'll explain that story. If there is a porn that is labeled like little girls, right? Or too young or something like that, even though clearly in the thumbnail, it's like a fucking 30-year-old posing as
Right.
a little girl, a little baby.
With socks and glasses and
It-
pigtails.
You
Yeah.
know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even click that on because I don't want that to come back and be like, oh, well, clearly there was a pattern of little girls because all he was watching was little girl porn. And it was like, I don't even want that shit to happen, dude.
Sure.
I need the title to be on the up and up, like, of these things. Because you never know when someone is going to come back.
Would you allow me to show you TikTok in a different way?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
But every time I open up the app, it is girls just doing this. Little girls, and they're sad about something, or it's like a breakup or something else. Or it's like a country song where they're wearing like cut off jean shorts that are too tight. And I'm like, whoa, dude, you are very questionable down this road, and I don't even want to be near this right now. But yeah, you want to show me the ways and the fun ways of TikTok? Fine. And if you even do one with our kids, fine. I don't care.
Yeah. So my
For real.
kid asked to do stuff, but he doesn't really understand.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be like, do a TikTok, and he lines up all of his baby dolls and smashes them in the head with a
Big fan of
baseball
that.
bat.
Big fan of that.
And
What's wrong with that? Is that not a TikTok thing?
right, so I just go, okay, buddy, didn't post it. But I'm like, buddy, that's not really like.
It is. Let him have his own TikTok.
No,
If he
dude,
wants to smash
that's
baby heads.
aggressive, dude.
Great.
That's a kid hitting baby dolls with a bat.
You're saying it's a potential serial killer that we're raising.
Yeah, bro. Like that's not a like, hey, mom, film this. And I didn't know what he was doing. He was like setting them all up, and I'm like, oh, fun TikTok.
Yeah.
And then he just went along each one of them and just.
That's awesome. I love that actually. That's
He
really
is
funny
so
to me.
sweet, so it's like not really like that. He just like doesn't understand stuff, or he'll be like, "Mom, film this," and he just like rolls by on his scooter.
He'll do funny shit to me that I don't think he does to you. Just because of being a man versus being a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day, he rolled into the room where you know your kids eventually end up like you know,
Mm-hmm.
where I can already see it now. Like the other day, he ran into the room with his pajamas unzipped and his penis was out, and he just stopped in front of the thing. He goes, "Hey, Dad," and then ran away. And I was like, shit, I still do that today. You know, man, that's
He's
a good
5,
one.
so it's not like
Six. He's 6 years old.
6,
yeah.
but just turned 6. It's not like a 13-year-old. Like
No,
You know
exactly.
what I
exactly.
mean?
But it's
Yeah.
still funny where it's just like, how did you know that makes me laugh my ass off? Like,
yeah.
anybody's penis out, I will eternally laugh. Like anyone, anywhere. I'm like,
well, I
"Oh,
definitely
man."
tell him not to do that. So if you could,
I didn't.
Dude.
Yeah, I laughed and I was like, hey, buddy, you can't do that.
but it sounds like you were laughing as you were saying it.
I
hate to tell you how to parent, but
I put the laughter
can't.
back and way deep down inside
So
and
he
said,
didn't
hey,
see you laughing.
no. And I go, hey, buddy, you can't do that. Because I don't want him to
Inappropriate.
do that at school and other things. Yes. And I go, it's super inappropriate. You can't do that. But when he gets older of age and he's cool, you know, I mean, he's cool now, but like real cool, I'll be like, hey, man, remember that time when you were 6, you put my penis out and I told you it wasn't funny? Guess what? It was really funny.
And that age is going to be in the 20s.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. And I think that's when you can really, I think after college is when you can really sit down with him and be like, hey, man, remember all that shit I said? Like, that, here's X, Y, and Z. It's that way they're never left with that mystery in life where you're like, shit. That's I wonder if like I pushed it too far or whatever. I was like,
Right,
no, go
right,
back and tell
right.
your kids that was funny later on in life. But you're
Right.
right. I think it's after. I think it's at 22, like after college, where you're like, hey man, I'm proud of you. You got a degree. It looks like you're gonna have a decent life.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go through the dates of your life. When you were 6 and you pulled your penis out and you ran away. It was super fucking funny, man. I laughed my ass off. But I had to tell you that it was inappropriate. But don't think I don't want you to think the comedy was lost. You know,
Sure.
It's gonna be a 16-year joke, right? Because he's 6 and at 22, I can go back and tell him that and be like, hey man, you got me on that one. It was
Right,
awesome. Like
right,
I laughed my ass off.
Right.
The baby the baby doll head thing, smashing heads in and all that stuff. That's great.
It's not like he's smashing heads. He's just knocking them off the thing.
I still think it's a great TikTok. What if you put it to Naughty by Nature? If you scored it to Naughty by Nature, that's
Not putting it up.
be really good.
Not putting it up.
What if you had a child's Naughty by Nature channel for TikTok?
What is that? How does that song go?
But which one? They've
Just
got
one.
numerous hits. They got Hip Hop
Like
Hooray.
the one you're thinking. Oh, okay.
The one I'm thinking of personally is it's called Uptown Anthem. That's the one that I'm thinking
How
of.
does that one go?
Bing, ding, 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 ding. Bing, ding, 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 ding. I took a 6 with a fucking... And then it just really goes into...
Oh, okay.
You know?
That could be-
No.
That
The
sounds-
naughty, nasty, and then there's a bunch of N-words. Ho happy, trappy. That's happy to be nappy. That's the way the rest of that song goes. But unfortunately, there's about 30 or 40 N-words mixed in there, and I don't even feel comfortable risking that.
You shouldn't.
Nah, and I never will. So therefore, I'm not going to say it. But maybe scoring it to something like that would be awesome. I think that would be a hilarious TikTok. One of the best videos that did like the best for me on Instagram was him. I put him in slow-mo in I filmed it in slow-mo on one of those janky fair rides in a car.
Oh, yeah.
And I scored it to Post Malone's Candy Paint. And, dude, that got like 20,000 views or something like that. And I was like, oh, shit, maybe kid stuff is funny if you score it to adult
if you do
songs.
it right. Yeah. For the most part, it's not, though.
But the search history thing is a thing, by the way. Have you ever had anyone die and then you went through their search history, or you ex-boyfriends or anything else in life?
Have I had someone die and I had to go through their search history? No.
So I have. And
Okay.
there were some things that I wish I didn't see, and now that's stuck with me for life.
Is it a
Family.
family?
Wait,
Okay, I get
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I was not
Yeah.
stoked about it, but and I brought it up to another family member of mine, like a couple days later, and I said, "Hey, man," because he's like, "Hey, did you find anything weird or whatever?" And I was like, "No, there was this one thing though that I was just like, fuck, man, I wish I hadn't seen that because now that's gonna stick with me forever." And he goes, "What are you gonna do? Everybody's got their kinks and shit like that." And I was just like, "All right, cool," and it was understood and moved on, but it's still with me.
Yeah.
I just whatever I am. I picture, I don't know, man. Let's say I go hard in fucking Panama City Beach, you know?
Sure.
You're not there. Whatever happens, happens. Cops come into the room and they're like, shit. I don't know who his wife is, right? And they're looking through my wallet. Nobody has like wallet pictures or anything anymore, right? With the names written on the back of like, oh, this is Jessie, you know, senior year
Right.
from whatever high school. Like, you don't have that anymore, so it's kind of hard to identify you. Like, and it's in my phone, it doesn't say wife. And now that I'm talking this out loud for the first time, maybe I should write wife in there. Because when people lose their phones, you try to call them
Yeah.
and try to get their shit
Yeah.
back. Wife isn't defined. However, when somebody dies, it has got to be your next of kin that is called first or whatever. Like, might not be able to find you, so...
So wait, you're in Panama City doing what?
Whatever
without me?
happens, Jesse, whatever happens in Panama City, right? But let's say the cops open up my computer and they're like, shit, I'm kind of try to email his wife or see who he searched for or whatever. And then they go through little girls fucking dancing or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, motherfucker, man. Then you're going to have to answer for that, you know?
I think we should move on.
This has clearly never happened to you.
To be completely honest. What?
Where like somebody's search history has popped up and it was just like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
That died? No.
Yeah.
No.
You got to be prepared for that, you know? And anybody out there who's listening, I'm going to give you a quick prep sheet here because I had to do this to one of my friends the other day. And I go,
With
hey, man,
who?
yeah, like with a will in particular. And my buddy was like, oh, what the fuck, man? I'm like 37, 30. And I was like, cool, man, but you never know what's going to happen. And I've had a bunch of friends die in my life, and I think I've gone over this, but like 8th grade through senior year, someone died from my grade every single year. It was just like, oh, fuck, man. One of the most important things, if you were a grown-up over the age of 18 or whatever, man, get a fucking will. No matter what it is, legally, these people will find a way to get to you, or the government will try to take shit from you and all this other shit. Mm-hmm. If you do not have a will, I cannot stress this enough, go get one. Even if you're healthy as shit, just get a will for, especially if you have kids or a wife or whatever. All your assets end up being frozen, first of all, and then your wife's going to have a bitch of a time. They're either, the lawyer will possibly give a loan, but there's going to have to be money put down and all this other shit. Get a fucking will. Also, it is very important to have someone erase all of your search histories and all your shit. Have a guy that erases everything from your life. You know who had this? Mac Miller. So Mac Miller, when he died, the place was empty. Mm-hmm. Nothing. No computers, no drugs. I mean, they did a deep search of that place, and like those, like the labs and all that stuff didn't come back till later. But there was drug remnants like on tables and shit like that. Whoever his assistant was, bravo.
Right.
Revolutionary figure of the day. I don't know what we should call that job description, but you need it. Maybe a cleaner. Like, man, you need a cleaner who's just, whatever happens wherever you are and you die, wipe it all. Mm-hmm. Well, not a Social Security cleaner, because you need, whatever you're going through, like, look, Mac Miller was fucking partying at the time. Like, it was clear that the cops weren't called on that death until 2 hours later, once they did the autopsy. And they were like, well, what happened in that 2 hours? I can tell you what fucking happened. His cleaner came in, cleaned out the whole goddamn place. Mm-hmm. And that's amazing. You need that in your life.
Yeah.
So will, number one. 2, a best friend who's a cleaner who will just, just have a convo with him or her and say, hey, man, if I kick off or something happens in a weird way and I've been doing some shit that you don't want your parents or family or friends to know about, like, wipe it all out of the system. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Clean the room, clean the fucking computer, all that other shit. That's all I'm saying. Those 2 things are helpful in life.
Okay.
Right now, and it's going to actually lead into the next story. Right now, there is hackers that have seized allegedly 646 gigabytes worth of data from the lawyers of Lady Gaga, Madonna, Mariah Carey, U2, Bruce Springsteen, Priyanka Chopra. Is that the one who's married to the Jonas? Mm-hmm. Bette Midler's now on this list.
Ooh, the Midler.
Yes. Who was yesterday? Elton John. The Middles. Middles.
Yeah.
We talked about this story on Drinkin Bros News yesterday. It kind of broke the night before, and I was like, oh, shit, I want to chat about this. And I knew we were going to talk about Drinkin Bros News. If you didn't watch that episode or listen to it, what had happened was the hackers broke in, took 646 gigabytes worth of shit. They're not saying what it is from this law firm and saying, we'll release it to the public. And it'll be very embarrassing for you. Typically at a law firm, it is all documents. I would highly doubt that they have any video unless it was sexual. And when I say sexual, I mean like sex tapes and things like that, where people had bought off other people not to get sex tapes released. A lot of people have been shaken down for that. Kevin Hart was the most recent one, who said, fuck it, release it. I don't give a shit. But they could have this on these people. However, most of this is probably documents. 646 gigs of documents is a fuck ton. That is millions and millions of pages of things. Yesterday it was 21 million they're asking for. They have doubled that to 42 million. The new message that they just put out says, the ransom is now doubled to 42 million. The next person we will be publishing is Donald Trump. There is an election going on, and we found a ton of dirty laundry on time, quote unquote. They have also gone on to say, Mr. Trump, if you want to stay president, poke a sharp stick at the guys. Otherwise, you may forget this ambition forever. And to you voters, should have put an R on the end of that, so clearly they're not that bright, and probably
No,
chalk
I think they're
this
talking
down
to the voters now.
Oh, you're right. Maybe I thought they were talking to the presidents. And then to him, yeah.
Voters.
And to you voters, there should have been a comma there. That's still the wrong alliteration, but whatever. There should have been a comma there. We can let you know that after such a publication, you certainly don't want to see him as president. The deadline is 1 week.
Yeah. They're suspected to be Eastern European.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not surprising. There was a story on 60 Minutes about all of these bots who are pushing up Twitter, and most of the people that were hired for the Facebook propaganda that's being pushed we're all out of like Croatia and shit like that. So, all right. Anything else?
That's the most, and I've heard that they're not negotiating. The company's not negotiating with them.
Oh, they're not?
No. But I'm sure the people are pissed about that, right? Like, the celebrities are pissed, but the law firm is not negotiating with them.
On Thursday, the hackers claim to have hacked.
It doesn't make them look bad. They just did the fucking deals.
On Thursday, the hackers have claimed to have hacked another prominent U.S. firm and also posted a file of stolen documents titled Lady Gaga on their site on the dark web. The contents of the documents in the file were not immediately clear, but cybersecurity software company Emsisoft, which specializes in ransomware, spotted it. An analysis from their company says companies in this situation have no good options available. Even if they pay the ransom demand, there is no guarantee the criminals will destroy the stolen data, especially if it is of high market value. The data must be sold or traded in these cases.
Unfortunately,
yeah, I agree with this.
The
I agree with
best
that.
thing to do is to not negotiate, but the people that have the non-disclosures and all of this will be more pissed. Will be more pissed that the law firm is not negotiating, right? Because it's, like I said, it's not the law firm's shit.
Right.
They just did the fucking deals.
Right.
So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with this. Except for, I think, not negotiating with terrorists is probably
I have a guess. I have a guess on this. If you're going after Trump, first of all, these aren't Trump's lawyers.
Right.
I'm not sure what they would possibly have on Trump other than, if somebody donated to him or unless he fucking banged Madonna back in the day, who knows? I don't think there would be anything there. $42 million for a guy like Trump? Not enough money. You'd say 100. If it was going to influence an election, you'd go a much higher number than that. Because that affects the entire world. This election affects the entire world. That is the leader of the free world, and it would be a number way, way higher than this. I agree with that tactic of not doing it. Look, that's what Kevin Hart did. It wasn't sweet, but he said, look, release the fucking tape. Some of the footage came out, and then he made a statement and got ahead of it before it did. Other people have done it before, but you're right. You've no way to know if they transfer this to another drive, disk, friend, whatever. So I will say this, mentioning Trump now, that's going to get everybody involved from the White House now. Even a threat like that gets everybody involved. So good luck with that one.
Yeah.
But if it does come out, like we talked about on Drinkin Bros News yesterday, all of these clients, it'll be gangbusters. Because a lot of these NDAs and shit, and I'll reiterate it in case you didn't listen to yesterday's show, I've had to sign 2 in the last 6 months. Not that anything was out of the ordinary, but some of the things that they were asking for in these, lawyers and otherwise, would be embarrassing to them had it come out, or the people who had to sign these NDAs, that if it got out, they would have to explain for themselves why they asked for some of the ridiculous shit they asked for in these NDAs. Whereas I didn't care because I knew going into these meetings that I was just like, I'll do whatever you want. It's not like I have anything to fucking spout off about, but it would be very embarrassing to them. And some of these things for these celebrities, God knows what Madonna's asked for over the years.
Right.
Or who sucked off Elton John that he had to pay off.
Right.
So we'll see. But to double down today, $42 million. Now this has become a big story.
Yeah.
Big story. So we'll see what happens here, James. But Whew, balls. It could be real interesting. I think celebrity-wise, out of this, man, I can't see Bruce Springsteen, bless you, asking for a lot of shit.
Spruce?
Yeah. I can't see the Spruce Goose asking for much. Is the Priyanka Chopra girl, that's the one who's married to the Jonas?
Yeah, but she asked for some fucking bullshit.
Maybe, but I can't see that being too crazy. I bet you there's a strong prenup there from the Joe Bros side. That's probably they probably did the deal on that. Mariah Carey, good luck. I bet you there's a fucking treasure trove where the shit on Mariah.
Yeah, but she doesn't care.
She might.
Why?
I think the first marriage with Tommy Mottola, that one was nasty, and there was some shit negotiated in there about things that they had said and or done. And my guess is, because there's been speculation for years, that he was fucking around with her before she was 18 years old. I would imagine something like that was probably in their agreement. As far as if she were to write an autobiography later or whatever.
Right.
I bet you there's something in there on that side. And then Mariah Carey herself, I think in that Nick Cannon divorce, he took her to the fucking bank on that. So I bet you there's shit in there that Nick could and couldn't do and or say. That would be pretty hilarious for both of them. You too.
That one is going to be a good one.
That one would be a good one because I think it was you who said this. I don't know how many episodes ago. Wasn't it you who was talking about the charity with those guys? And it was just like, yeah. So I'd be curious to see what was a tax shelter for those guys and not. And if these are the U2 lawyers, buckle up.
There's a documentary called Poverty Inc. And they got into a little bit of Bono using the charities that he does in Africa and places like that to make millions.
Hey, I know of one massive celebrity who does it.
Leo.
Oh, all right. Well, fuck it.
Well, you don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know and you don't know, whatever. Like
on this one, I do.
There's so many. There's a lot of speculation about him, and then there's also, it's widely known that he just has other people donate a bunch.
Yes.
And uses his face as like the cause, but he doesn't give anything.
No.
He just has everyone else give money and then goes, hey, we're donating, but then he just like doesn't donate. Yeah. But like gets everybody else to do it. Poverty Inc. is a really, really good documentary. Actually, it makes you look at white savior in a totally different way. As far as like when people go out to these third world countries and do all these things and give them,
water,
looks like they're giving them all these supplies when in fact they're actually tanking their economy even more because they're taking away from like
local
if they
businesses,
bring, for example, just in this documentary, if they bring bags and bags of rice for these people, for because they're starving, the people there, the farmers there that are actually growing fucking rice, nobody buys it. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And there's very few that actually go out there and like teach them how to do a skill and then like pay them for their work, which is pretty much the only thing that actually helps a third world country. But like bringing a bunch of water and bringing a bunch of food, like literally just keeps them at a certain level that you can continue to do that.
Let me ask you on that front. Like Bill and Melinda Gates is the first one that comes to mind, right? The Gates Foundation.
They're different, but go ahead.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I was curious about is like, do these people know it? Because I wondered if they know it going in of like, all right, great. This is a big financial gain for us and we're going to do it before they're able to do it for their own countries and this money is going to us. Or is it innocence of like the white savior thing of like, oh, well, I'm going to come in and do this with the best intentions, but they don't realize what they're doing at the end of the day?
Half and half.
Okay.
So there are some people, Bono, for example, that knows exactly what he's doing. And then there is some people that just like, oh, they just like, people are starving. I got to just bring them food. And that's like the worst thing that you can do, right? Like going out there and just bringing truckfuls of food will do nothing for them because you're going to leave and then the people that they could have bought food from the job that they have with the new skill that you've given them, whatever. In this documentary, one company that actually I think did it right was they were having their solar panels manufactured out there. So they were like training people that didn't have jobs to like make these solar panels, paying them for their work, right?
Right.
I think that one ended up getting a little bit fucked up too, where like people weren't getting paid right or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like our friend that went to the Bitcoin guy. Where did they go? Puerto Rico.
Oh, yes.
Saying that, we're gonna bring our tech company here just because everyone's blah blah blah. And what they did was they got a huge fucking tax break. They got cheap fucking property, and they didn't hire anybody from Puerto Rico.
No.
And but they made it seem like they were like bringing business there, and like no.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a lot harder to go. Like it takes a lot more of your time to go out there and like, you know, bring manufacturing there, or like teach people skills, or like build, you know, your company and employ everyone that lives there, right? Like that's a lot harder. It's so much easier for like, there's one of the Real Housewives that has a private jet, and she famously will like bring supplies all over the place. Like that's a lot easier. You get your Instagram post, you get your, you know, charity name, you like you get the photo ops and everything. That's easier.
Yeah.
To actually help a country is so fucking hard, and those things are detrimental.
Got it. Well, it's back to that old adage, James. You know, you teach a man to fish, and he could be Nev Schulman from Catfish eventually one day.
Right.
So, famous saying, you can look it up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who said it.
Everybody knows
You'll
it.
feed him for 1,000 years if you teach a man to fish. You can be the guy from Catfish too. So.
The best line from that movie too is do you remember when they did that Christmas song, like Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh.
And it's this lady sitting
Which
like
movie?
You know the song, the Bono's famously.
Yeah, but which movie are you talking about?
I'm talking about the documentary.
The
best line in that documentary in closing is when the lady was like, they played part of the song and it cuts back to the lady and she's like, "Yeah, Bono, we fucking know it's Christmas." Like, what are you talking about? Like, do they know it's Christmas? And it's like, dude, we're not like little fucking dum-dums. Like, we just like don't have infrastructure. You know what I mean? Like, but it sounds so much better to be like, do they know it's Christmas after all? Yeah, Bono, we fucking know it's Christmas.
We named an episode that, and we played the song at the end of the episode one time.
It is
Do They Know It's
so
Christmas?
problematic. Like, if you haven't listened to that song,
it will make you fucking
listen
cringe
to every word now
to your
and
soul.
think of it like where these people are in Africa. Like, they fully have jobs, they have houses, whatever. It's not like what yours look like, but they're fine, right? And listening to this song being like, what the fuck? Like, and it raised money for Bono, by the way.
Yeah.
Bono got a big fat check from Do They Know It's Christmas.
Oh, yeah, dude. He got residuals off of that. Do they know it's Christmas? You might as well call them, do these dumb poor people know it's a holiday?
Right.
They don't get to enjoy. They
Right.
get no presents. Bono, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Cut straight to the chase, bro. You know? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, it is so fucking terrible where you're like, God damn it, Bono.
It's a good one.
Nobody brings that up, though.
I don't like Bono, is what everyone's saying. Yeah. Nobody likes Bono. I think Bono's contracts or whatever that are getting leaked are going to be the most defamatory, but whatever.
Yeah. I call him Bono. Nobody likes Bono.
Nobody likes Bono.
Bono. You know who I do like, though, is Dana White.
Oh, yeah?
Love me some Dana White.
What bullshit is he on now?
He's the fucking best. He's the best, dude. He is a no-nonsense, fuck you type of dude. We talked about this the other day. You have to be an asshole to have these jobs and to be that powerful. There's no way around it. And he will say this to anyone, anywhere, anytime, all the time. Play his presser that ran yesterday after the UFC fight because it's
there was an article in the New York Times today that was very critical of the execution of...
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. You know what happened with that guy?
All right. No volume.
That guy who's
Pop
never
that,
covered
pop back out of that
the
then,
sport
because of
ever
volume,
before,
but,
was writing a story about
the beauty
Endeavor.
of this clip is,
And then the
literally
UFC was one of the
literally
Endeavor,
says-
you know. And what do you think happened when this guy who, in this paper covered
hearing it,
the UFC when they'd never covered it
You've
before?
heard it, right?
What do you think happened? The fucking story was huge. They did killer traffic.
What are you doing?
Now they're writing stories 3 a week, and they're posting live results.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what that guy thinks, what he has to say, or what he writes. Good for him. He's pulling good traffic.
Do you not worry about the
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Don't give a fuck.
I mean, Dana White's the best.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I mean, he just flat out said, fuck you, fuck the New York Times. That fucking guy made a ton of fucking traffic off of this story in the UFC. How many times did he say the word fuck in that clip? Probably 8, 9. Told that guy to go fuck off and everybody live on air, and it was amazing. It is amazing. I cannot stress how much I love Dana White enough. To be in that position of power to call people out like this is what needs to happen more and more, so they're held accountable. The guy who wrote this article about him that he's referencing in that clip we just showed about Dana White doing that he had never written a UFC article in his life. And then he goes in and he goes, I don't think that this is good for the pandemic and good for the coronavirus. It is. It's great. One person tested positive out of fucking 500 people that were working that event.
Right.
And he goes, what do you know about it? Like, you weren't there.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about it. You just wrote this entire story trying to tear down me and tear down my organization. We kept all of our people, all of our fighters, all of our doctors, everyone healthy during this, so we could put live sports back on the air. And he goes, fuck you.
Yeah.
Over and over. And it's great, man.
People should have been studying what they were doing.
They are.
Instead of
They
tearing
are.
it down.
And the ones that are studying it are the smart ones. The ones that are running up they're the heads of these other sports organizations like MLB, NBA. All of those guys have been watching this entire week because Dana's not done. Papa Dana's not done yet. He put on fights Saturday night. He put them on Wednesday. I got to chill out with my kid and watch fucking UFC on a Wednesday for free. That was
Sweet.
dope as fuck. Guess what he's doing Saturday? Another huge ass card tomorrow night. Boom, boom. By the way, you can go to mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit on those bets. He's doing another one.
Yeah.
3 cards in 1 week. Not only are we back, but we can do this at a consistent level where, great, one person gets sick and then they're out. Congratulations. At least we caught it.
Yeah.
And then they can go get the proper help they need. It's not like they were cruising around for weeks with coronavirus. Like, shit, it probably saved this fucking dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not only that, but most of these athletes that are playing, what would you call wrestling? Because that's not playing. Yeah, wrestling, fighting, whatever you want to call it, right? Most of those athletes, anyways, are at such a fucking high level. They're not at risk for anything that's, they don't. You can't fight in the UFC with a respiratory problem. You'll never make it. I can only name one guy who 2 guys that use an inhaler on a regular basis. These guys are peak athletes in their prime. Like, they're fine. They're going to be fine. I feel the same way about NBA, and I feel the same way about the NFL. The other thing is, yeah, because I was like, dude, LA.
Oh,
I think
what's
it's
LA?
going to be 87 this weekend.
Nice.
Good luck.
Good luck on
Good
keeping the people.
I have noticed this trend, however, today that they said all beaches will be open by Memorial Day weekend. When I read that article this morning, they don't have a fucking choice. Let's be real about it. Don't think that your governor did you a favor by doing that. Like us, whoever the governor, Roy Cooper. I hate that fucking guy. You didn't do that for me, homeboy. We would have done it anyways, and I have been doing it. So really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you see me with a fucking red tint to myself, going to the beach every day, bro hand. No suntan lotion because I just don't care.
Bro hand?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before, bro hand.
Bro hand.
Oh, I thought it was bro ham.
Yeah. Either way, a bro handle. I'll lengthen it. I'll go bro handle. I'll go bro hem.
Ooh.
Yeah. all of them all go there. But don't think your governors or any of your state officials did you a favor by saying the beaches are going to be open for Memorial Day.
There you go, guys. There you go.
People would have been there anyways. So.
But no sunbathing or hanging out.
No, you can.
Oh, you can?
Yes. So I went yesterday. Yeah, I went yesterday. Come on, dude. Went for a fucking nice run yesterday. Everybody was raging. Everyone. Cars on the beach, the whole shit. Like on that one section you can drive on.
Yeah.
Raging until the sun was just at its fucking peener, just right at the bottom there, just at its little peener head where you're just like, ooh. And then they were setting up campfires. So not only were people sick of being stuck inside, but they were like, fuck it, we're camping out here tonight. That'd be nice because you can do that there.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. So, I mean, people were playing slam ball with each other. I mean, it was a full-on spring break yesterday, and I was just like, man, love to see it. You know what else? People were friendlier yesterday. So when I was running, everybody that I was running like back and forth, everybody waved. Was like, hey,
yeah,
we're out, right?
Right.
We're not locked in our house like some fucking animal, some caged animal. It was like, hi. Everybody was so nice, and I was just like, shit, dude. This is great. This is great again. Now let's get those bars open, baby.
Maybe.
So we can get Jessie out of her funk. Let's get those bars open, dude. She doesn't get a fucking glass of Merlot at 5:01 p.m. It's all fucking downhill, dude. Let's open it up. Open it up for the people.
It's so true.
That's the last thing that's missing because as I was running back, there's a bar on the pier, and it was closed, and I was like, shit. But I heard it's Jamie. Is it tomorrow? Are they opening up bars tomorrow here? God damn it, Jamie.
I think it was.
I just say God damn it, Jamie, one more time.
One more time. Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yes, Jamie is leaving us. We love you, Jamie. We want to say that on air. We're waiting for you to get back. Jamie is leaving us. He's off to bigger and better things.
Yep.
What's that?
Not bigger, just better.
Never know, just better. That's what we want from everyone, So
absolutely,
it's great. So if you're in the boards, you don't have to hashtag fire Jamie.
Jamie
anymore.
said he would pop into the boards every once in a while, say hi to you guys, and pop in and. We have
a new sailor on the ship. His name is Giorgio. I will be calling him Papa Giorgio from now on, from Nick Papa Giorgio, obviously from the Vacation series.
My middle name is Nicholas.
Is it really?
Giorgio Nicholas.
It said his middle name is Nicholas.
There
Nick Papa
you
Giorgio.
go. There you go.
So it was in a European Vacation where he's got Vegas, the Vegas Vacation, where he's got the fake ID, and it's Nick Papa Giorgio. What's your name? It was great, and they kept saying it throughout the movie. So,
perfect.
Welcome, and Jamie, we will miss you. Get the Stromboli today.
We got him some
Yeah.
Stromboli.
Did you already eat it?
No.
So yeah.
But he's definitely put up with some shit.
Yeah. Look, I said this earlier before we walked into work today. I said thanks, and even to Nick Papa Giorgio, I just look. I'm not always the easiest guy to work with. I like things a certain way. I don't like mistakes and other shit. I realize it's hard to do some of the things that we're doing, but still, I'm very blinder focused. Where there's a goal at the end of the time. I'm a goal-oriented guy.
Sure.
And that's it. And so if I snap over, it's like a horse with blinders on, snapping at the other horse, where it's like, just fucking let me look down straight. I don't need to hear you in your bullshit from right or left. That's why they have this blinders on.
It started out nice.
No, but I know that I'm aware that is me.
And then it goes right back into your fucking bullshit.
I'm aware.
It's fine. We know you.
But I'm
we
aware
love
that
you.
that it is me, and I get it. And I'm not the easiest at all times, but whatever, I'm honest about it.
Anyways, say your piece. Say your piece to Jamie. Let him know you love him on the boards, and
yeah, absolutely.
We do have some sponsors.
Do we? I
don't know.
After all of that, are they still here?
I don't know.
Sometimes
They're here.
It's shocking.
They're here because of me, for sure. We do a good cop. We do a good cop, bad cop sort of thing, and we don't ever switch.
No, we don't.
It's always bad cop, good cop.
It's totally true. I mean, even this
Isn't
morning.
that what they do sometimes? The detectives, like, don't they go like, this time you're gonna be the bad guy?
Yeah.
We don't ever switch.
We
but
don't.
go ahead.
Yeah, there was something that popped up this morning too, and I go, when we walked out of this office, I go, those motherfuckers, and you looked at me and you were like, hey, because we're taking 2 separate cars to work today, and you go, you're not going to say the word fuck to that guy on the phone, and I was like, I am, but it's going to be in reference to something else, not him personally. So yeah, it's always bad cop on this.
Bad cop, good cop. But look, it is what it is. Look, but in all fairness, like, if I were to be running any, like, that's why I've always said, like, I cannot be like the boss bitch that runs a fucking company, because I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I would be like, whatever you think you deserve, just write that on the check and I'll just put it in your account. Whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There is a million boss bitches out in the world.
Yeah, man.
To know them personally, I've known one. She was my lawyer. 15 years ago. So.
Didn't you guys date?
No, I did not. I wanted to. She was.
Didn't you almost date?
Yeah, I tried to.
Yeah.
I went all in. I tried to put for sure. But she was a boss bitch who was literally like, hey man, I have no time for any of your shit or to care about your shit or to pretend to care about any of your shit because I'm going to take over the world. And that's it. And I was like, oh, well, at least you're honest about it. And she went on to take over the world. I saw we're still friends on Facebook and through a thing, and it's like she made a gajillion dollars, like somewhere in like the 500 or 600 million range, right? I looked at her pictures to see whatever happened to her. It was a long time ago, and it was her and a dog, and I was like 0 life, kids, whatever, 40s.
So you're looking
all
her
of it.
up?
No, not at all.
Just looking at a picture?
There was a remark of a Facebook comments on something I had made regarding China. Somebody else was just like, oh, fuck this and fuck that. And then it got back, and I saw her picture, and I clicked it, and I was like, oh, it's exactly what I thought would happen. Single dog, that's it. Like, you can't be a boss bitch and have any form of personal life or be nice to anybody in this world.
Yeah, I mean,
seriously.
Once you get to the
top. And it's not fun. Like, you won't want to be married to somebody like that. You don't want to date anybody like that. Like, it's not fun.
Once they get to the top, I see sometimes people changing like that, like Beyonce. Famously, on the way up, was not that great. And
she was not that great?
Kind of bitchy, boss bitch. There was a lot of diva things connected with her, blah, blah, blah. And and with J-Lo too.
Yeah.
I think J-Lo might still be a bitch. But once they get to a certain place, I think that they calm down a little bit. I have no idea, but I don't know.
I don't think Beyonce changed. That's my guess. But she's married to another boss bitch. So it's like, is that the only way those relationships work? Is if there is equal power? When you get to that level, right? Is that the only way that works at that point for those two?
No, I don't know.
I always wonder, because somebody's got to sacrifice along the way.
Yeah, someone has to step back, and it sort of seems that Jay-Z is doing that, right? So someone has to always step back and let the other one, and it switches sometimes, right? But you can't like both be trying to go for it all at once, right?
No. Either way, long term, if you're a boss bitch and you're not married to a Jay-Z, shit never works. Like, they end up single with dogs or cats and then causes. That's what always happens. Fucking Chelsea Handler and them. Like.
So if anyone's wondering, I am not a boss bitch. I'm not a boss babe. I'm not CEO, CFO, nothing. I have 2 kids and a fucking handful, and I'm good. I have time for people's shit. I have time for it.
But that's a better...
I have to make time for it because that's my life.
But here's the thing. Isn't that a better, more richer, and fulfilling life?
Sometimes.
Do you wish sometimes it was the other way around, where you were running a corporation? You could
no, I just
scream
think
at people all day?
Sometimes when you are that way, like, you definitely do get taken advantage of, sometimes stepped over, sometimes. But to me, it's worth those couple of times to not be thought of as a fucking bitch. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
So most of the time we'll like give people benefit of the doubt or just whatever.
Yeah.
So if I do get mad, it's because enough stuff has happened. Or if I feel like you're taking advantage of me being nice, that fucking makes me crazy.
Okay. All right.
So be aware, Ross.
I am Jessie. Jessica Abraham Lincoln Wiseman. I'm kidding. It is definitely not Jessica.
It's not.
It is not. Jessie is not short for anything, by the way.
It's just Jessie.
And nothing makes her angrier when someone calls you Jessica.
Yeah, because that's a bitch name. Just joking. There's probably a Jessica on the boards. I'm sorry.
18 Jessicas listening right now.
I'm joking. There actually isn't.
Really?
There's Julia,
You'll
Danielle,
be surprised.
Brittany.
We got some sponsors to pay for this whole fucking shit wagon to be on the air. Surprisingly, first and foremost, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros, Jabes.
Oh, yes, 25% off.
25% off everything in the entire store. They're doing that all throughout the quarantine. And if you order a mattress, you're getting free pillows, 2 of them to be precise. And that's not all. I feel like a game show host. That's not all. The 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest, is applicable with the 25% off and the free pillows and everything else.
Yes.
They are a company of the people. I'm a gigantic fan of ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. And the fact that they do all this shit all the time. Typically, companies only run these types of deals right around the holidays because you can't afford to fucking do that all year long if you're a company. They are throughout this entire quarantine. And
I have to say they do it for our listeners. So the
Correct.
Drinkin Bros landing page, they are always putting awesome deals in there because you guys support them. They support us.
Correct.
It's a beautiful marriage, and they will take care of you guys. Email them. Let them know if you have any questions about which bed you should get.
or a review. They love the reviews of where it came from.
And you never know.
Yeah.
Rich might send you some Chick-fil-A.
I know, dude.
Beware.
The president of that one of the heads of that company is always sending food or doing cool shit or free giveaways. Like a bunch of people, what was it? Like I know we said 10 on the show, but he ended up sending like 40 free covers, mattress covers to people. And I was like,
That was
Jesus
probably
Christ.
our fault because we kept saying it on the show.
Great. He's great. Look, they're great. So, look, love ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Next up, James. Come on. We got expressvpn.com/revolution. Ooh.
Now.
If you don't want to get hacked like Lady Gaga
Exactly.
or the lawyers we talked about at the opening of the show, you've got to have a VPN running on your networks. I'm assuming a company of their size probably does. That's why I think this ransom thing is probably bullshit. We will find out, however. But for us normies, normal folk who are just out here putting Coca-Cola bottle caps on our shoes and dancing for the people in the streets, we need a VPN in ours, you know? We do. $7 a month. If you sign up using expressvpn.com/revolution, you get 3 months free. It runs seamlessly, the app in the background of all of your electronic devices. So hard tops, soft tops, laptops, desktops, iPads, iPhones, you name it, you're good to go. And if you're trying to break down the firewalls that your tyrant bosses have set up for you at work, you can watch porn on there and they'll never know. You can go to the bathroom stall right after just finishing off, just dusting off a 6-inch tuna from Subway. You can go into that bathroom stall, take your belt off, wrap it around your neck, and just and they'll never know.
If you get tuna
Never know.
from Subway,
I love it.
Godspeed.
It's my favorite. I love tuna at Subway.
Godspeed.
Subway Eat Fresh. I'm a big fan of Subway. I wasn't a big fan of the pedophile, Jared, but everything else was cool. Yeah, Fogel. Was it Jared Fogel or the Fogler?
What a fall from grace, huh?
Yeah. I lost 182 pounds, you know? It's just like, yeah.
I lost everything.
182 pounds was 2 children. That's what he lost out of that fucking thing. Ba-dum-bum. Go to expressvpn.com/revolution today and protect your shit. Protect it. $7 a month, 3 free months. It'll protect you from being hacked. Next up, Jabes. We've got StrikeForceEnergy.com. Shabloinkers. Strike Force Energy's got 4 amazing flavors. I may or may not be on it today. No one knows.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
4 amazing flavors. Grape, original, orange, lemon. 10-pack, 40-pack, 750 milliliter bottle. No carbs, no sugars, no gluten if you give a shit about that. Clearly I don't.
That's clear.
Clear. But it'll keep you going, man. If you're with your kids and all that other bullshit throughout the day, last longer than 5-hour energy. Tasty, tiny little tin pouch. You rip it open and squeeze it into any liquid available. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. Promo code Revolution gets you 20% off, and they have a subscription of the month. Last but not least, Manscaped.com.
Ooh, talk about Dana White.
Yes, big fan of Manscaped. You have seen them on the mat of every UFC event this week. They'll probably be on Saturdays as well. Everybody's ordering the Manscapes. It's amazing. It's a kit, and it's for your balls and pubic hair. Some people have asked, like, hey, did something happen with straight razors? No, it didn't. Like, we love straight razors. It's 2 different types of shaving, though.
Yeah.
Do not use a straight razor on your ball sack or your dick
No.
or your pubic hair is, like, for real.
No.
If you nick that with that, congratulations. That testicle is going to unravel down onto the ground like an ancient Egyptian scroll.
Is that how it works?
Yes. It's like the Code of Hammurabi. It'll just, you'll roll that out and be like, hear ye. Here's your entire balls and testes and scrotum.
Chucky! Prince Chucky! Such a scrotum on the floor. Sorry, I was just shaving my pubes and I nicked a ball.
What happened? It unraveled like an ancient Egyptian scroll.
Chucky! Chucky!
Now you don't need them. Go to Manscaped.com. Shave your nuts in style. Your balls will thank you. I wish I wrote that line, but that's actually theirs. No lie, that is the slogan of their product. Your balls will thank you. They got ball deodorant. All you need is one kit. And it's a Lawnmower 3.0 is the razor. And boom, you can take off 1 inch, 2 inches, whatever you want.
Does it
off your
say
pubic
it on
hair.
the thing?
It does.
Lawnmower? I love it.
Lawnmower
Love
3.0 is what it says on the product. It is amazing. Go to manscaped.com, promo code REVOLUTION, and that'll get you 20% off there. It's one of those things, you just need one of those products. That's it. Straight razors will be back. It's not this week. Because you can't shave your balls with that, Jabes. You can't shave your balls. You can't do it. I watched the CNN thing last night, and I told you I'd give you an update on the show today about what I thought of that whole shit. It's not Thunberg.
Yeah, it's Thunberg.
The way they said it, god damn it, man. I wish I could have, we had one of those boards with buttons where I could just press words and shit. There's a couple that I really want, like Post Malone's, ooh.
Right.
I want one of those buttons to be Anderson Cooper saying Greta Thunberg's last name.
Okay.
It's so dainty, like he's holding a little cup of tea, and like it's a hot thing of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Toon Bear.
Toon Bear?
We've got Greta Thunberg on
Oh,
tonight.
quit it.
And I'm like, what the
Quit it right now.
I'm like, who is Toon Bear, dude? You dumb fuck.
I'm like, who is Toon
Greta
Bear, dude?
Toon Bear is on tonight. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Toon Bear or Miss Toon Bear, for being on the show tonight. It's like, it's Thunberg, dude. We don't live there. You're not Swedish. Brohan, you're a fucking Vanderbilt, for Christ's sakes. You're as American as apple pie. You're American as your own dick in that apple pie, my man. When I saw her yesterday during this whole, because it was like a town hall thing. Some people were saying it was an expert panel or whatever. It's a town hall thing. They do these things every week with these bullshit people on, Skype or whatever it is, right? And they get their thoughts on what's going on in the world. I obviously took it to the nth degree making fun of this because there's no reason she should have been talking about the coronavirus whatsoever.
Toon Bear.
Toon Bear shouldn't have been talking about it at all.
Love it.
They fucking cock teased her out for 1 hour and 45 minutes. They brought her on for like the last 9 minutes of this 2-hour town hall, and it was just like, I mean, luckily I was able to fast forward through all of it because I recorded it, and I was just like, oh, bullshit.
Sure.
Everyone was afraid on the panel. Everyone tells you to live your life inside, don't do anything. They went into a Georgia restaurant. Did you watch that segment with me before you went into bed?
Oh, yes. And they were
They
standing.
went to an Atlanta restaurant in Buckhead.
So they're standing next to to a couple tables of people that are fully like having a nice dinner. They're like no mask. They're like hanging out. And the guy stands right next to their table and says, as you can see, there are some people that don't care. And he's like basically hitting them in the face and knocking over their wine and shit. And the guy's like, Jesus, yeah, we don't care. Go. And like the big light from the camera is like on their face. They're like, yeah, we're at a restaurant. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
As you can see, some people don't care.
Restaurant was packed, by the way.
Packed.
Packed. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Now, one fucking patron there was wearing a mask.
What a dream.
I know the restaurant they were at in Atlanta. First of all,
Buckhead, wasn't
yeah, it was in
it?
Buckhead, which is right on the cusp there. With that, this restaurant, for a table of 4, you're probably looking at a $200 tab, maybe $250 depending upon how hard you went.
Oh, okay.
Drinky, wise,
Yeah.
It's a place where you can have a glass of wine. You're not doing shots.
Sure.
Like it's fucking Cancun.
You're
or
able to
anything.
keep things civilized.
Yeah.
Basically. But then there's places in Nashville, like they're opening up Redneck Riviera. And that's the kind of thing where after a couple drinks, like nobody's going to be doing the things that you want them to do. Do you know what I mean? So it's like once the bars start opening, like...
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, you'll be doing...
Because I know I personally, like, if I get a little drunk or if I have, like, one shot, I'll be going up to everybody.
Yeah.
And, like...
Hey,
I'm right next to you. Do you want to dance 6 feet away? You know? Like, who isn't going to do that? Like, some fucking loser that's like, dude, fuck this. Like,
yeah.
Redneck Riviera is opening back up. You know what I mean?
And on Redneck Riviera, by the way, on that strip, you have one shot in. Congratulations. People are serving you snooters, and then you're getting banged on the head with one of those squeaky hammers, And
Yeah,
it's
and then
like,
your head's being shaken around, and they're like pouring the fucking thing in.
Yeah. And then you get shoved in a huge thing of cleavage, and then you walk up to the...
And then you get thrown in a fucking closet, and you left there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then they let you out, spin you around, throw you against a wall.
You
It's
vomit
so
all
fun.
over them. They put it in a bag for you to take home. You walk over to the dueling pianos and say, I want Rocket Man.
And that's just one shot that they call the Annihilator. And
there's another shot called the Butt Wrangler. Now, that's a whole different thing. They're going to pull your pants down. That's going in rectally. And then congratulations, you're living your best life for the rest of the night.
And then they're going to do the thing where they like blow the flame
into
into your butt. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what's going to happen. And I'm sorry. But all of these people on CNN last night were like, no, you shouldn't go outside. And this is really dangerous. And it's like, you're not going to stop people from having fun at all. And I'm sick of all the bullshit. And it was like, they tried to set it up because the guy was wearing a mask inside the restaurant, the reporter. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, some people are doing this. And it was like, you're old as fuck, dude. That's why you're masked up. Like, and you should be.
No, it's a
If you're
shaming
old,
mask. It's a shaming mask.
It's a shaming mask. But that guy was also old as fuck. And it was like, all right, great. Go out and do that and protect yourself. But guess what? You're not really protecting yourself. So what the fuck are you doing? Toon Bear's coming up next. Toon Bear. Yeah. It sounds like you would something one would say like if you pooed it a little bit and you're like, oh my god, sorry, that was a little Toon Bear that popped out, a little Toon Bear that squeezed out of me.
First of all, tooted.
I just Toon Beared a little bit. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was me who Toon Beared. I had cabbage. Yeah. So it's one of those things where CNN was trying really goddamn hard last night to be like, no, everybody, there's still deaths that people are dying because we need this story to keep going or else we're going to be out of work and out of money. And I looked at the ratings last night. You know, A. Coops, out of all the networks, is dead last. Him personally. Mm-hmm. Cuomo, the Cuomo-sexual, is actually ahead of him. Every other host during that slot, Fox is destroying everybody, Fox News, but is even MSNBC, who's got the lowest total ratings. Maddow and those guys are ahead of Anderson Cooper. I think that because at the end of it, he did his own segment at the end of the thing where he was just like,
Oh.
he goes,
He went rogue.
He did. And he goes, I've seen a lot of people writing that we shouldn't have Greta Thunberg on the show. And then it was this and this and this. And he goes, you know, I don't want to get caught up in it, but it happened to me. And it was all fake news. It's like, motherfucker, that's all you pump out is fake news. And now you're going to bitch about someone else's narrative? Like, no, dude. You had a Thunberg on and cock teaser for the entire thing. By the way, in that Thunberg interview.
Stop.
Nope. Won't stop, can't stop. I'm Thunberg for life. With that, they asked her, I forgot that she lived in Sweden. So every question he asked her was
Where
like,
she's from, right?
yeah. But I didn't know where she was, or she's always on some fucking Viking ship traveling somewhere because she doesn't want to use up carbon footprints for flying or whatever. So I was like, I didn't know if she'd be on the bow of the ship or wherever the fuck she would be, right? She claimed that she had coronavirus, so she had the symptoms of it, so she self-quarantined. And they were like, so they kept prodding her with questions, Jessie. They were like, well, what's it like in the streets there? You know, I'm sure you haven't left your apartment in days. And she was like, no. We don't have those type of sanctions here in this country. You know?
Yeah, in Sweden.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, shit, that's right. They've been open the entire time. And her school's been open. The fuck are you talking to her for?
But is that why they were talking to her? To
No.
talk about,
They were loaded up with these questions of like, you must be going through all of the things that we are. And then finally they're like, oh. And she finally had to say something at the end. She was just like, I think America might be a little different than Sweden, you know? And they clearly didn't know what was going on with that narrative because they were like, well, what do you do throughout the day? And she was like, well, you know, I go to the market and I shop and I do, you know, everything like everyone else. And it was just like, oh, what the fuck are you restricted on?
nothing.
Nothing. She's not restricted on anything.
Right.
And it's mostly like smart social distancing things. Like that doctor, Dr. Anders we were talking about. Shout out to Thaddeus, dude, who sent me that clip. Thank you, Thad. Anyways, Thad Haynes, one of my beef fries. He sent me this clip of the doctor from Sweden who was talking about, you know, look, the reason why Sweden's beating everyone is we were careful. We went out and told everyone, first and foremost, if you're old, stay inside. If you're obese, if you have these respiratory problems, whatever. But you can't pull kids out of school because kids aren't contracting this. They need to keep going on. Businesses need to stay open and all this other shit.
The guy did say it would be very detrimental to children's health and mental health to pull them out of school.
Yes. And he was very clear about that, which we should also be doing the same exact thing in our fucking country, which we're not right now, depending upon what state you're in. Wink, wink, Roy Cooper, you fucker. And with all that, like, the biggest takeaway for me was I think it comes down to not offending anyone, where everyone in America is so fucking worried about offending someone or being non-PC or whatever about everything that's going on, where it's like, oh, I don't want to, we shouldn't come out and say that because that's going to offend old people. It's going to offend people with respiratory problems. It's going to offend people with asthma by singling them out. No, you're trying to save their life while making sure everyone else has a normal life to keep living and going. That's why Sweden has been successful. They came out immediately and said, hey, man, if you're in this age range or you're fat or you're fucked up, stay home. Like, they were very clear about it. That's why they've been successful.
I don't think they said
Here,
fat, huh?
we can't do that. I would have loved if Trump did that. That's the only thing that I regret during this whole thing. Trump would have said, hey, man, here's what we're going to do. The same thing that Sweden did. If you're got respiratory problems, you're old as shit, stay home and don't get into this. Let's not shut anything down. Not that he could have done anything about it because the governors ultimately made the decisions that they made. But that's the only thing he could have come out and said and be like, hey, I don't care if you're offended by this. But I think once he announced that travel ban from China and Biden and Pelosi and everybody was just like, oh, you're a racist, you're a xenophobe. You don't want anyone traveling from other cultures and countries and races. Had nothing to do with that.
Not a Zima.
Xenophobe.
Because we are not afraid of Zima here.
No, not afraid of that.
You know what I mean?
But a xenophobe.
We love a Zima.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm fucking hot today, James. You know that I'm hot today.
Oh, sorry.
And, you know, if you would have said that from the fucking get-go and then just stuck with it, but he took so much backlash for a month, 3 weeks of that, of like, oh, you're racist. Nancy Pelosi walking through Chinatown, her fucking old ass at 80 years old. Oh, I love the Chinese people, and we're hanging out. You hanging out there now, Nancy? How's that working out for you? Haven't seen you back there. If you would have said that from the get-go, I don't know that we'd be going through the economical problems that we are now. I mean, look, the jobless reports are coming out. They're nasty. We're up to 36.5 million Americans that have filed for unemployment during this whole goddamn thing. It's going to get worse. The other thing is the retail market numbers came out this morning. They were expecting like the worst of it to be like a 12.6. It's at 18.6. Like, it's going to be really, really fucking ugly. It's only going to continue if you don't open shit up. So that's the only thing. I don't know what they were hoping to get out of Toon Bear last night, but they didn't get it. And I think CNN is so desperate for ratings that that's the only thing that would have drawn her in. They saved her like she was Post Malone at the end of the Grammys. You know, where they keep teasing that out for a 3-hour show, and you're just like, man, I just want to see Post Malone. I don't want to see fucking Johnny Tree Chops in the fucking 5-Star Orchestra or whatever, you know, whoever that band was from the 1950s that you're trotting out.
Speaking of Post Malone and shifting gears, his rosé, his French rosé is coming out. Is it Maison? Maison number 9.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, for his sake and mine, that he does something other than a rosé. But I'm sure you just start with a rosé, right?
Yes. It is the easiest to produce. So, fun fact. We had a Luc Belair.
Oh, that's right.
It was our sponsor on Drinkin Bros. The bottle of rosé is up over there actually in the corner. They were nice enough to stamp a Drinkin Bros logo into it, which is fucking awesome. And I asked them, I was like, hey, what's with the rosé? And they were like, look, the rest of wines, champagnes, all that other shit, people bitch a lot of like, oh, the sweetness, the flavor, the earthiness, the tone, all that other shit. A rosé is the easiest one to kind of get right.
Yeah.
Where it all kind of tastes the same, right? I haven't had a rosé where I was like, oh, this one's better than the other one. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Well, definitely just a really sweet one as opposed to the other one. So if it's a true rosé, like it's not super sweet, but it's not, you know. Gotcha.
It's
like a, you know.
So he's been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
He's been working on this for about a year, I believe. Over a year. And he was over in France. So
yes.
This is coming from France. It's not like homeboys making rosé in Kentucky.
No. It's actually from the French Riviera.
Yeah.
He visited Provence.
Yep.
Last year.
And there's footage of it. Zane did that interview with him. I think at the Vineyard, actually. But I'm amped about that. I enjoy rosé. Luc Belair is my favorite. That's my favorite champagne I've ever had. I wish they were a sponsor, but apparently you just can't ship alcohol through the mail all the time.
So it's a tough one.
Either way. I love those guys and I love rosé, so I'm amped to try this. Is it going to be in stores? Did he say that?
It will be eventually. I think right now you just get it through the website.
Okay.
But at Total
Wine and More? Total Wine and More?
Which we don't have, but
oh, we don't have that here?
You can order online, yeah.
All right. I'm down. I'd love to try some. I think that's a great business endeavor. Because I had always heard whispers behind the scenes about Luc Belair that secretly Rick Ross was one of the owners in it. I asked them. There was a long pause on the phone, and they were like, nope, we're the people who do the business of this. And I was like,
we are the people who do the business.
Rosé's big in the rap community as well. So, it's a great business move. Everything he does,
he just does whatever the fuck he wants to do.
He does, but it's in a smart way. Like, you can't just pass anything by that guy. And like, looking back on it now, right? The partners who he's aligned himself with are Bud Light, which everybody drinks. It's an American beer. Budweiser is American as shit. Great. You really can't go wrong with that as a sponsor. Crocs. Let's face it. Every fucking person wears goddamn Crocs on this planet. Like, not me personally.
Or me, but I guess everybody.
But kids, all of our kids, grandparents, all that other shit. Like, most dorky white people wear Crocs in their everyday life, and it's fine. Fuck, if you're gigging for...
No, I thought he did...
crawdads.
He
a
did
nice pair of Crocs is great. No, it's Crocs.
Oh.
It is Crocs. And he's got his own little snippets. What do they call those things, Alec? The snap-ons? The little snap-ons that go in the Crocs. Little jewels. It's kind of like bedazzling your Croc. Kind of being like your own little elf, your own little shoemaker. He makes those, so you can get the Post Malone things. There's some that were going on eBay for like $1,000 because they sold out in like a day.
Dang.
He's done stuff with like Olive Garden where it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
He just does funny stuff.
Cool shit.
Like Crocs is hilarious, but that's
Hilarious.
his whole vibe, which you have always said, like, back in the day. You're like, man, if he would just change his fucking style. I think you've gotten to a point now where you, like,
I
get
understand
it and like
now.
it.
Yes.
Where it's like he just walks past a, like, crazy suit store or some tourist place wherever he's at, and
Yeah.
he's like, give me that ridiculous shit. And I think it's fucking hilarious and awesome.
I wasn't in on the joke, and
Got
like
it.
that was the whole thing. So looking back on it, once you said that, and you said it on a show, and after
Because
the
you know that's the shit I do. I'll get the like
Yes.
bedazzled hat
Yep.
and I'll get the thing because I think it's fucking funny.
So my point to it was, because like I didn't understand until after the show, and I was thinking about it. I was like, "Fuck, I think you're right. I think she's right about that." He's very cool, and like you see him wearing suits. Like even in this Rose ad, he's wearing a suit.
Dude, he looks cool as shit.
Looks like a fucking pimp, and it's
Yeah.
like you can go that route as well. Be like, "Hey man, you're just one of the coolest motherfuckers on the planet," and be styled differently, or you're in on your own joke that everybody else is either in on or not in on. I was not in on it. You were, and you caught it, and it was just like, oh, all right. And then looking back at it, you're like, yeah, he just walks into a store in whatever city he's in, buys a fucking suit, wears that on stage that night, and then burns it. Like, that's really fucking
Like a
funny.
matching, like a cropped, like bright pink,
Yeah, yeah.
bedazzled cowboy thing. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, yes, dude. And then the last time that we saw him, which is a picture that's in this actual ad, is he just has this like anime weird red button up
Okay.
and jeans.
Yeah.
But he'll also like do that, you know?
Yeah.
I just think he's fucking funny. I think what he's saying is like, I am so cool that I'm gonna make you fucking think this shit is cool.
Or
And that is my challenge at this point, is like
Yeah.
to put this
Yeah.
on and be like, I'm fucking cooler than you.
Right, right.
Even in this shit, I'm cooler than you. Even in Crocs,
Yeah.
I'll fucking kick your ass, right? So I fucking love it.
I do too, but I did not understand the fucking attire for a
Oh
while.
my god, the
until
like
you brought that
bright
out to me.
yellow, like happy face.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, when we were backstage a couple months ago during the beer pong story, which has become legendary, it was, who was it? His assistant or whatever was like, "Hey man, you want a pair of Crocs?" And the guy opened up
Oh,
that
yeah.
that tub, and there was like
Just
100 pairs of just white Crocs
Yep.
that were his.
Yep.
He's like, "You can take a pair of Crocs with you." I was like, "Good man, I'm not.
we're
taking,
good on that,
I'm not
but
taking a pair of Crocs from
thanks,
Post Malone."
bro.
But
Yeah.
that's the hilariousness of it, and I don't even know if that was part of the joke of like, "Hey man, take your own Crocs."
All of it, I think, is hilarious. And if you don't think it's hilarious, like, he probably doesn't want to hang out with you. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't think that's funny,
It's really funny, really fucking funny.
the fuck you.
But I'm down. I'm down for the rosé, and I'm here for it. Alec, we'll order some and have it on the show. They're not a sponsor, but who cares? Let's just do it and get it. Let's say hello to everybody on this hashtag Blast Friday afternoon. To everybody in the boards: Rick Miner, Chris Beerworth, the Hawk, AJ Gamble, 9/11 or
Hando.
1911 Deathstroke.
Okay.
Jacob Nickel, Julia Kirkies. Was Big Dick Danoff was in here today. There we go.
Oh, yes.
Was Craigers in here, Jamie?
Yes.
Craigers was in here.
The
so,
Craig.
Since we made it live
He
on
actually
air.
named you his cleanup guy.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Craig. I don't have time
Craig,
for that.
honey.
Craig, I'm on air 90 hours.
He's
I'm
a
like
boss-
The Ryan
he's a boss
Seacrest. Yeah. I'm a girl CEO.
He took the lead.
I'm a
Go
girl
ahead.
boss. Yeah.
Girl boss.
Yeah. No, I'm like the Ryan Seacrest of podcasts these days. Like, how many are we doing a week? Like,
Self-proclaimed.
it's crazy. No, everyone is calling me that, and I'm like,
Oh, really? I
hey
didn't
man,
see it
I
one time.
understand it.
But go ahead.
Yeah, no.
No,
of course, of course.
I'm joking.
You also don't read, but no, I'm kidding.
You do.
I said
about
this.
13 shows.
I
a
said
week.
this yesterday, and I'll say it again today because I didn't know if the live show would make it or not. Happy 30th birthday, Craig Gillespie.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, so I wished him yesterday,
Oh, yeah, we did say, yeah.
and we made it today. So happy 30th birthday today. And his girlfriend Amy had hit me up and said, hey, if you could shout out Craigers on his 30th. So know that came from
Aw.
Amy because I don't ask my friends their birthdays.
No. We're grown-ups.
I don't know anybody here. I don't know Jamie's Alex, nothing. The only reason I know, Jamie, yours, I don't know what day it was, but you asked for the day off because you won't work on your birthday, which I've never heard of in my entire life. I'm a boss bitch.
Jamie says he's a boss bitch. He's moving on.
Moving
he's
on.
CEO of his own company.
Yes. Jamie Henson, thank you, man, for setting everything up, keeping us going, and putting this shit wagon on the air every day. Yeah, man, we're looking forward to everything you do in the future. Nick Papagiorgio, proud to have you here. Looking forward to whatever's going to happen with this crazy fuck all company. We got some other shows in the mix that we are working on this fall out of the Tetherball Academy, and those will be coming at you this fall. One of them is, if that show happens, Alec, it would be crazy as shit and really fucking hilarious. We'll try our hardest. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's really, really funny. And if you're not subscribed to Drinkin Broettes podcast, do so. Jessie and Tiffany Hart absolutely kill that. And then we'll be here with you through the end of this quarantine. It looks like most states, and again, after reading this for Memorial Day, it looks like Memorial Day. So we'll try to be with you 5 days a week until Memorial Day, because I think everybody's going to start to get back at it after that. And then we'll go maybe 4 days or something like that, 3 or 4 days back to normal again. Yeah. Hopefully everybody else at home is going back to work and getting back to normal again. Just know that we love you, and thanks for watching with us every single day. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.